Let me ask you a question. Are you moving forward? Are you moving forward? Does it feel like your business, the project you're working on, the things you're growing, the things you're building, are you moving forward? Are you making forward progress? You know, when I was designing my new logo, and you have the FT, I was also thinking, well, it also represents forward thinking. To move forward, you have to have forward thinking. Moving forward with your mindset, moving forward with growth and letting go of dead weight, letting go of things that have held you back to get to a place of thinking ahead. So on this episode, I've developed, wait for it, an acronym nonetheless that will help you with moving forward in your business, will help you achieve forward thinking, a process and a system that will give you the little push you need to reach those destinations that you've been trying to reach for a long time. Now, I'm sure you're like, that's a really bold statement. And it is. But you gotta be bold to make something happen. And isn't that why you're listening to my podcast anyway? To get a nugget, to get a gem, to be inspired, to be empowered. Or maybe you just like my voice and you just want to have a good time. Either way, let's keep moving forward. So we're going to learn about C.L.O.V.E.R. You're going to learn what does C.L.O.V.E.R stand for and how C.L.O.V.E.R is going to propel me forward. I'm glad you're here for episode 2. Hashtag C.L.O.V.E.R. Cue the hype music.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the iDigress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, world? Digital world. It's Troy. I'm glad you're still listening. Think about forward thinking, forward motion, forward progress. Are we moving forward? Maybe you feel like you are moving forward, but it's not at the speed, it's not at the ratio, it's not at the volume, it's not at the impact that you thought you would be by now. Well, let me tell you something. Moving forward takes patience, takes the ability to be calm. And you know what else? Celebrating the little wins. A football game is 4 quarters. If we focused only on the first quarter, and you don't think about the next 3 quarters, you may lose the game. It may be enough to win, but it may not be. On the flip side, you could have had an awful quarter. And if you're just thinking on just that 1 quarter and not the next 3 quarters, you might lose. The same thing with business. The same thing with marketing. The same thing with how you're trying to develop your communications, your videos, maybe even on a podcast. It's really about celebrating the little wins, analyzing things that have set you back, obstacles and challenges that you are now aware of that are standing in your way, and how do I move past them? How do I keep momentum going? Again, I mentioned the acronym C.L.O.V.E.R. I know, you will learn to love my acronyms. I'm very proud of them. So C.L.O.V.E.R stands for clarity, leverage, optimization, value, execution, and the R is a combo word, so it's ROI, revenue, and retention. Let's talk about clarity. Being clear about what you think and what you do, and having that succinct understanding of emotion and passion and intelligence and purpose, all intertwined, is critical. Not only in how you approach what you're doing, but in the likelihood of your success. Clarity allows you the freedom to design better possibilities for future actions. Clarity allows you to see things with logic that's fueled by passion, that's rooted in purpose, that is moved ahead by your power. Every effort at moving forward must start with clarity. I need to know who I am before I tell other people what I'm about. I need to know within myself what I'm capable of before I make promises of what I can deliver to others. I need to understand a good gist of what the goal is, what the purpose is, where I'm going before I actually do it. I need to know which direction I'm going in. So ask yourself, do you have clarity about what you're doing? The more clarity you have, the more time well spent. It may feel like I'm wasting a lot of time building this structure, building the system, building this strategy, building this idea, building this outline. Take, for example, this episode. I don't want to be overly scripted in my thought. I don't want to veer off into so many subsets and rabbit holes that I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness, I just said all this good value, but it doesn't really connect. But I digress. The second letter, L, for leverage. You need leverage. The more leverage you have in knowledge and in power and in understanding and in technology and in community and in ability of time, leveraging your time. Leverage is about taking the very things that you have at your disposal and making something out of them. I'm leveraging my time to create this podcast, but I'm also leveraging you as a listener's ear, that hopefully this seed that I'm sowing, that you're listening to, that you will sow the same seed to someone else, paying it forward in knowledge, paying it forward in value, that will translate into something else, maybe a new business, maybe a new contract signed, maybe a new mindset, maybe a shift in priorities, all benefiting each person. And it just takes one person to sow that seed, to leverage their time, to then entrust others to do the same. But I digress. The O is optimization. Nothing is perfect. Even the idea of reaching perfection is imperfect. We cannot predict every outcome. I can't predict how many people will listen to this podcast. I can't predict your reaction to my voice or what I'm saying. I pray and I hope that it provides something of substance that will be beneficial to you in some way, shape, or form. But one thing I can do, I can't optimize my delivery. I can't optimize my approach. I can't optimize how I come across through this platform to you, that in hopes over time with people commenting and let me know, hey, I like this, I didn't like this, I would like to learn more about this, I can then take that information and optimize it for a better listening experience. In the same way, your first idea may not be your best idea, and even if it is your best idea, it can always be better. I never ever feel I will ever achieve my best self, because with each new day I am blessed on this earth, I am trying to achieve a better self, a better person spiritually, emotionally, a better person physically and mentally, an overall next level better version of Troy. And in the same way, you should be doing the same thing in your business. You should be doing the same thing with how you approach your projects. The same way and how you come across to your community, within your peers and your relationships. It's the same way. Even for me as a husband, me as a son, as a brother, as an uncle, as a nephew, all these different identities that is Troy, I should be optimizing myself to be better when you are as a business. Just because you built the website doesn't mean it can't be better. The UX, UI, user experience and user interface, the CX, the customer experience, is always evolving. Maybe you've been having great success with Facebook ads, and maybe you've had some great success in Twitter chats, and maybe you've had great success in billboards. And you know what else could happen? Something like this in 2020 with the pandemic hits, when people aren't using certain channels and they're using other mediums to consume content and spend their time. And now you have to readjust and optimize how you show up, where you show up, and when. Optimization is one of the key ingredients you need, not only in building, not only in having, but in maintaining a sustainable and successful business, a sustainable and successful brand overall. Do not take it for granted, and do not think, oh, I did it once, I'm okay. And optimization is just like with your car. Pretty soon, you're gonna have to get an oil change. You need to tune up every once in a while. Tune up your business. Tune up your website. Check it out every month. Your messaging, how you approach your sales conversations. Look back of why you didn't win certain businesses. Even if you won them, why did they choose you? Why did they not choose you? Be prepared to fail. Optimization in tandem with marketing is nothing but a series of trial and error. And then over time, you hope that you get something right more and more and more each time till you find that right sweet spot where things are running smoothly. But don't take your hand off the wheel just yet, because there's so many outside forces that can impact your semi-perfect system that now you have to tweak even more and even more and even more. The V, no surprise here, is value. You need to understand the value you bring to the table, but also the value you hope to get in return. Is that value a certain amount of money? Is that value a certain amount of prestige? Is that value a certain action? Visiting to your website, commenting on your posts, liking, sharing. To get the value that you want, you have to give value. I want to give my emotion. I want to give my time and effort and commitment and thoughts and knowledge and research all within this podcast that you're listening like, oh, I feel the effort. I'm learning something. There's two different types of value: predetermined and discovered value. My goal is to educate people on very simplistic processes and systems and mindset shifts and hacks and other ways that you can do social media marketing and business and comms to be better, to hit your goals, right? That's my predetermined values. The undiscovered ones could be just, you know what, you're a great person to listen to on the weekends. You just give me energy, just give me life. My brain gets into a certain perspective where I can now think of different things after listening to your podcast. Those are things that are unbeknownst to me, things that I did not think I would be able to do, nor did it even come across my mind that I thought this podcast could become. But that's the undiscovered value that over time, oh my goodness, this works. And you know what that does? It leads right back into giving me clarity and knowing that I can leverage those points to lean in more into them to provide more value. And what am I doing through all that? Optimization. But you know what? I haven't even finished the last two letters and you can see already the cycle. Clarity, leverage, optimization, and value. The E is execution. It doesn't matter if I have clarity. It doesn't matter if I'm leveraging technology to do this podcast. It doesn't matter if I'm optimizing the technology and how I approach things and all these different things. And the intent being value. If I don't execute, if I do not execute, none of this happens. It doesn't exist. It's not tangible yet until I execute. You need to execute in your business. I spent all this time trying to figure out, how should my podcast be? How should I sound? I might have tried to done this take 10 times already, trying to find the right one that makes sense, that sounds like me, is like the most perfect one. But each take I try, I recognize and I realize none of it's perfect. None of it. But I will not let that stop me from executing. I will not let that stop me from pressing record, from speaking my truth with my high energy octane authority to you. But I digress. We can do all this talk. You can build the most amazing sales decks. You can produce the most amazing videos. You can build the most amazing communities as far as numbers. But if you don't execute, what is it for? To make it happen, you actually have to do it. Take it off the concept of your idea. Do it. Go get your customers. Go get those clients. Go get that community built. Do it. Create that piece of content. Make that podcast. Make that ebook. Yes, there's a lot of things to figure out, but we got to do it. Lastly, R. R being those results. What's the ROI of this podcast? I hope it gives you C.L.O.V.E.R. Clarity, leverage, optimization, value, execution, and ROI. This podcast is free. The only thing that it costs is your time. Now, my hope and goal is that the time you spent listening to me benefits you. In the same way with your business, what's the ROI of what you're doing? ROI isn't just money. It's how you feel. It's a positive reinforcement of gratitude that I did something, it was great, and that did something for me emotionally, mentally, to continue forward. Maybe ROI is the impact of helping others. Yes, you have to do an exchange of profits so you can pay for your apartment, your home, your car, your electric bill, your subscriptions, whatever you got going on. But beyond that, the quality of life. That is a form of ROI. So put that in perspective. Forward thinking, forever trying, failing triumphantly. And FT being fine short too. But I digress. My point, each one of those things is required to moving forward, to making forward progress. You have to think ahead. You have to envision and see what you're going after. If you want something bad enough, you're going to wake up the next day and try again. A lot of people say they don't want to be in sales because they're afraid of rejection. Do you know what? No matter what you do, you're going to face rejection every single day. Oh, traffic's bad. That's a form of rejection. Should I still continue on to work? Yeah. Why? I need the money. Failing triumphantly. Troy, how do you fall or fail triumphantly? By getting back up. By learning from your mistakes. By understanding, why did I fall? And why did I fail? Failing triumphantly means it may not have produced the result that I wanted, but I'm still triumphant because I kept going. Listeners, hear me out. What's going to keep you going through the remainder of 2020 within your business and balancing your business with every other facet of your life is having that clarity, is using your leverage, always optimizing, keeping on the forefront value, providing it and expecting it, obtaining it, actually doing the work, executing, and keeping in mind, what's my ROI of all these efforts? Do I need to elevate what I'm measuring? Do I need to elevate what I want in return? Whether that's revenue, but also, again, the other R within that power play of R's, retention. I don't just want to get it once, because if you just get it once, anyone can do it. I want to get it again and again and again. I want to make it repeatable. I want to make it sustainable. Sustainable income. Sustainable business structure, sustainable process. I don't care if the algorithm changed 10,000 more times on Facebook. I have the system in place through my clarity, leveraging certain communities, leveraging certain technologies, leveraging myself in certain capacities, leveraging my time accordingly through optimization and providing value that I can execute and no matter what, get the ROI that I want and maintain it. That's the takeaway I want you to have. Apply C.L.O.V.E.R to your business. I hope you have clarity. I hope you now know in which direction you need to leverage certain things and pull certain levers. We're all just trying to move forward. Thanks for listening.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of iDigress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.